Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is about the rise and fall of Nazi Germany. You might know about World War II and stuff, but here we're going to dig deeper into how Nazi Germany went from nothing to everything to nothing again in just 12 years. You won't believe how crazy this story is. It's got everything: betrayal, adventure, danger, evil, death. This is the wild story of Hitler and the Nazis. Okay, let me show you a scene. Imagine you in a massive crowd of people, all wearing the same clothes and listening to the same guy who says the same things. The year is 1938, and you're at a Nazi rally. What do you see? Remember the black and white images of massive rallies, soldiers marching in perfect unison, and a man with a small mustache shouting from a podium? That was Nazi Germany, once one of the most feared regimes in history. Today it's remembered as a cautionary tale of destruction. But let's start from the beginning. The year is 1920s. Germany and the country is in big trouble. They lost World War I, and now they gotta deal with the consequences. You know when someone takes all your toys away and tells you to clean your room? Yeah, well, that's kind of what happened to Germany. The Treaty of Versailles forced them to give up land, pay money, and accept blame for the war. Plus, their economy was tanking, and people were super unhappy. Enter Adolf Hitler, a dude who failed as an artist, but still thinks he's the greatest. He joins a small political party called the National Socialist German Workers' Party, which later becomes known as the Nazi Party. To make a long story short, Hitler starts giving speeches blaming other groups like Jews and communists for Germany's problems. He promised to bring back German pride and power. People loved it. They thought he was a hero. His supporters, called Nazis, grew rapidly. Fast forward to 1933, things were really bad. People were desperate. Hitler gets invited to become the Chancellor of Germany, like the Prime Minister or President. Basically, he slides into that sweet, sweet power. But he wasn't done yet. With a mix of trickery and threats, he eventually makes himself the only leader of Germany, a Dictator. From there, it was smooth sailing. Or maybe not so smooth. Okay, let me tell you about the three main reasons why Nazi Germany got so powerful so fast. No. 1. Propaganda. No, I'm not talking about those fake news you see online. I mean serious brainwashing. The Nazis had a master named Joseph Goebbels. He controlled everything people saw and heard. Newspapers, magazines, radio, even movies. Goebbels used every trick in the book to make Hitler look like a god. He spread messages of hate towards Jews and other groups, calling them dangerous and making people scared. He organized mass rallies with giant flags and loud music to pump people up and make them feel like part of something big. Basically, he turned Hitler into a superstar and made the Nazis seem like the best option for Germany. Number 2, economic recovery. After the Great Depression, people were hurting. Jobs were scarce, and the economy was a mess. Hitler promised to fix it, and he did. The Nazis launched massive projects, like building highways and expanding the military. This created tons of jobs and made people feel proud about Germany again. They were like, hey, we're building the future. Of course, it was all fake. The Nazi leaders knew it wouldn't last. But hey, it worked. They kept people happy while they plotted their next moves. Number 3, nationalism and fear. Let me explain. The Nazis played on people's fears and prejudices to get them to join the party. They made up stories about how Jews and other groups were taking over Germany. They said these groups were dangerous and needed to be stopped. It was classic scaremongering. They also appealed to people's love for their country, using fancy words like Deutschland über alles, meaning Germany above all. They encouraged people to be proud to be German and to join the Nazi movement. This created a sense of unity and purpose among Germans. They thought they were part of something bigger than themselves. It was like a team. You know, everyone had a common goal, and they felt like they belonged. This helped the Nazi Party grow fast and take control of Germany. By 1934, they were already planning to expand beyond Germany's borders. Okay, so now that we know how Nazi Germany got so powerful, let's talk about how it all fell apart. Think about it. If Nazi Germany was such a great movement, why doesn't everyone follow them today? Well, as they say, all good things must come to an end. Here are the top 3 reasons why Nazi Germany collapsed like a house of cards. Number 1, overconfidence and expansion. After conquering much of Europe, Hitler set his sights on the Soviet Union. He thought he could quickly defeat the Soviets and gain more land and resources. But boy, was he wrong. The war against the Soviets turned out to be a disaster. The Nazis faced fierce resistance and suffered heavy losses. Hitler's obsession with winning the war drained the country's resources and weakened its ability to fight on multiple fronts. Eventually, the tides turned against Nazi Germany, and the Soviets pushed them back. It was a major turning point in the war, and the beginning of the end for Nazi Germany. Number 2, the United States joins the war. After the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941, the United States joined the war against the Axis powers. This was a game changer. The U.S. had massive industrial and military power, and it quickly became one of the key players in the war. They sent troops to fight in Europe and provided essential supplies and resources. The entry of the United States into the war marked a turning point. The odds were stacked against Nazi Germany. They couldn't win against the combined forces of the United Kingdom, the Soviet Union, and the United States. It was the beginning of the end for their regime. Number 3, Allied bombings. As the war progressed, the Allied forces gained control of the skies over Germany. They launched massive bombing campaigns against German cities, including Berlin, Hamburg, and Dresden. These bombings caused widespread destruction, killing hundreds of thousands of civilians and crippling German industry. The constant threat of air raids hung over the German people, adding to their fear and desperation. The relentless bombing contributed to the decline of Nazi Germany and the eventual collapse of its regime. And finally, number 4, Hitler's mistakes. You might be wondering, why didn't I put this one earlier? Well, it's because we want to keep this appropriate for all ages. You know, some of his mistakes include ignoring his general's advice, being way too ambitious, and refusing to admit defeat. Instead, he chased impossible victories, leading Germany into more and more trouble. Let's just say he wasn't exactly a decision-making genius. In the end, the weight of all these problems was too much for Nazi Germany to handle. The country was exhausted, divided, and ready for a change. So that's it. Nazi Germany is no more. Hitler died in his bunker in Berlin in April 1945. Germany surrendered a few days later, marking the end of World War II in Europe. Now, you might be wondering what happened next. Well, let me give you a quick rundown. After the war, Germany was divided into 4 zones occupied by the United States, the United Kingdom, France, and the Soviet Union. This was meant to be temporary, but it ended up lasting for decades. Berlin, located deep within the Soviet zone, was also divided. The western part became a symbol of democracy and capitalism, while the eastern part became a communist state. This division became known as the Iron Curtain and marked the beginning of the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. But let us take a step back and talk about the impact of Nazi Germany's rise and fall. The horrors of the Holocaust, which saw the systematic murder of millions of Jews and other minorities, shocked the world and led to calls for international cooperation to prevent such atrocities from happening again. The United Nations was formed after the war with the goal of maintaining peace and security. But let's not forget that the seeds of future conflicts were already being sown during this time. The rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union grew, leading to an arms race and the threat of nuclear war. It's a weird thing to think about, but the actions of a small group of radical extremists nearly destroyed the whole world. The fall of Nazi Germany serves as a reminder of the importance of tolerance, understanding, and the dangers of unchecked power. It is a reminder that we should never forget the lessons of the past and that we must continue to fight against extremism and discrimination in all its forms. So I want to ask you, what do you think? What do you think was the biggest factor in Nazi Germany's collapse? Military defeat, internal weakness, or Hitler's mistakes? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps us out. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious.